Hello again, welcome to the channel. My name is Dina. In this video, I'm sharing with you how to grow houseplants entirely in water. No soil, no mess, just roots and vibes. Last summer, I may have gone a little wild with plant cuttings, and now my kitchen window is lined with bottles of leafy goodness. I'll walk you through which plants work best, how to snip and dip your cuttings, and how to keep your water-grown plants happy and thriving. I've got a little project brewing, and it all starts with a gorgeous glass watering can. So I want to make sure these beauties thrive. So if you've got a glass jar and a healthy obsession for greenery, this is your sign to start growing plants in water. First, let's pick our cuttings and have some fun. My motto is you'll never know unless you try. But here are a few tips to help you choose the best water babies. Look for houseplants that propagate easily in water. These plants already got roots in water, so they will adapt well to living in water full time. Plants with soft green stems root better in water than woody thick-stemmed ones. Smaller plants are better. Avoid large or top-heavy plants which can tip over or need more nutrients than water alone can provide. Water-only growing doesn't give plants the same nutrients as soil, so plants that don't need much fertilizer work best. Avoid plants that are prone to root rot. If you're not sure, test a cutting first before committing the whole plant. Here's a list of houseplants that grow well in water only, perfect for jars, vases, or glass bottles. Now let's choose healthy cuttings. Make a cut below a node. Make sure each cutting has 1 or 2 leaves and a few nodes, those little bumps where roots grow, and remove any leaves that would sit underwater. Next, let's choose the bottle, clear or colored. Both options work great for growing houseplants in water, but they have their own pros and cons. With a clear bottle, you can keep an eye on your roots and water levels easily. It's also a great way to monitor your plant's health and spot any signs of root rot or algae. But the downside is that light can penetrate the water, which can lead to algae growth over time, and you'll need to clean it more frequently. Colored or opaque bottles block light, which means you won't have to worry about algae growth. You'll also need to clean them less often. But the downside is that you won't be able to see your roots and water level as easily. And if you're going for a bright or clean look, a colored bottle might not match your look. Here's a tip. You can use a clear bottle for the first few weeks to watch your roots grow. Once they're established, you can switch to a colored bottle to reduce algae and make cleaning easier. Or you can do this. Algae, the uninvited green, sometimes brown guest that crashes your plant's pool party. It appears as slimy film, green muck, or cloudy water, and in worst case, it can even give off a foul smell. These pesky algae thrive in sunlight and love to feast on plant remains and fertilizer. Algae can be a bit of a nuisance for your plant, but don't worry. A little bit is usually harmless. However, if there's too much algae, it can compete with your plant's roots for oxygen and nutrients. It can also attract pests and make the water in your plant go bad faster. Houseplants growing in water don't need something to cling to. If you're using a narrow-necked jar or vase that naturally holds the stem upright, or if the plant is small or lightweight, and if you're just rooting cuttings before moving them to soil. But they may need something to cling to or support if the plant you're growing is top-heavy or tends to tip over, or if you want to create a more natural rooting environment like using leca, pebbles, or moss at the base. And if you're growing plants long-term in water and want to anchor them or encourage upright growth. Finally, to keep our water jungle thriving, change the water regularly every 1 to 2 weeks to keep it oxygenated and prevent bacteria buildup. If you notice green slime forming, clean it and consider using a darker container or place it somewhere with indirect light. Over time, the roots might get tangled or crowded. Just trim them occasionally if needed. I've got a lovely houseplant that's been happily growing in water for a while now. This is my Syngonium white butterfly, so definitely add Syngonium to the list. If you're curious about her journey, you can check out the link pinned in the comment section. I don't need to fertilize the smaller plants as often. As long as I change the water, that seemed to be enough for now. I'll start fertilizing them regularly in spring to keep them thriving. I do add a bit of fertilizer, less than the recommended amount, to my Syngonium because it's been growing in water for longer. And that's it. Thanks for watching. I hope you're feeling inspired to ditch the dirt and grow some gorgeous houseplants in water. Enjoy growing. Have a great day, and I'll see you in my next one.